Hey guys, it's Erin and we are back for the December issue of the Mixed Media Menagerie. As you know, this is a collaboration between Laura, Nicole, and myself. And this month we have the fabulous Char joining us. She's ever so talented and I cannot wait to see what she does with this month's prompts. Links for her will be down in the description box below. And this month we are going to be using tip-ins, colored ink pads, and carving a stamp, which as you know, it is Carve December. So we're just gonna kind of bring that in and play with that as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so I've got my journal here, my spirit fingers. We are ready to play. Be sure to check the links down in the description box below to see what all of Laura, Nicole, and Char what they do this month and how they interpret the prompts. I've got my Speedball little carving kit here and my tool, so let's jump into it. To begin with, I'm going to open up my journal and we have to do some tip-ins first because I know myself and I will totally forget the tip-ins. So I'm going to tape up my pages here, and then I've got some, they're like blank index cards I bought a long time ago, and I'm going to use those, and I'm just trying to figure out how I want to orient these tip-ins, and I think I want to pull them into the center of the page, kind of like this. So I'm just going to futz around a little bit and see the best way to try and tape these in. And you know, I swear sometimes it feels like my brain is breaking. When I'm trying to figure this out, I'll bring in the ruler to try and line them up. But yeah, after a bit of fiddling around, we finally get it together, and then we can move on to the next step. So now that we've got that all figured out, took a little bit of a hot minute, but yeah, we got it figured out. Let's go ahead and put this off to the side and get carving. So here we go. I've got my carving block here. Let's just cut it open. And it has been a while since I carved a stamp, but I had this idea. I love this stencil. It's a mask, and I thought, wouldn't it be kind of cool to do something sort of swirly like this to create a stamp with? So I'm going to use that as my inspiration, and just going to grab a pencil here. There we go. And I'm just going to doodle on some lines, and yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but then we'll just sort of connect some of these lines here where there's some of the empty space. And put a little, kind of get that swirl there. Just willy-nilly, however you want to do it. Obviously, once I started carving this, I thought, man, this is pretty ambitious. What the heck was I thinking? But it's also very meditative. So now I'm going to grab a permanent marker. That's kind of one of those thicker ones because I want to make these lines a little bit bigger so it'll be easier to carve. So here I am just going to go ahead and trace over these lines. All right, so now I have it all drawn out. I'm going to grab my tools here, and all of my little nibs are in the back. And I'm just going to choose which one I want to start with. And there's tons of videos out there showing exactly how to carve a stamp. I'm not going to go into all of those details because that would be crazy. So here we are with tons of bits, and over an hour later, I have finally finished carving my fun, cool, sort of abstract-y stamp. I tested it out just using some another ink pad just to make sure that all of my valleys were deep enough and my hills were high enough to get the best stamping. So now let's go ahead and bring back our journal page, and I'm going to gesso the page. I'm going to gesso this, and then I'm going to flip those sides in, and I'm going to gesso the inside as well, so we have the same base for all of the pages inside. colored ink pads was one of the prompts. I thought it'd be fun to break out the old Tim Holtz Distress Oxide ink pads and get a little blendy and play. So I don't have my little tool, I couldn't find it, but I want to show you I have this double-sided Velcro here. So the soft side is on the inside and then the more tacky is on the outside. And I just roll it around my fingers and then I take one of those little foam pads and I just stick it to it and boom, now I have my very own blending tool. Powered by my fingers. So all I'm going to do here is go ahead and start adding these ink pads onto the page and blending as I go and just kind of building up the layers. So we'll go ahead and speed this up, grab some music, and then I will check back in a little bit. Inks kind of where I want it. Let's move on to our stamping. I found this stamp mount. It's like a little foam board at Tuesday Morning, and it has a sticky piece that you can put on the back. So I'm just going to do that, and then boom, now I have a more sturdy stamp. So we're going to keep it easy here, and I'm just going to take this water bottle and I'm going to spritz the top of my stamp with water. This is the fun thing with those distress inks. I'm going to shake off any extra water so it's not too drippy, and then I'm just going to stamp across the page. I can flip my stamp around, go whichever direction that I want, and then I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to soak up any of that extra paper, and this is going to give us white areas. It's kind of give it like a little bit of a fun kind of reverse graffiti look. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm going to call it. So I'm going to try and stamp here a little bit in the center, which is always hard to do, and then I'm going to make sure I flip out those sides, my little tip-ins, and I'm going to stamp on those as well. So let me just get that center there, add a little extra. We're gonna make sure we dry that first so we don't mix any of the colors here. We'll give that a good dry. And I'm trying to think in my head, where do I really want this journal to go? I feel like this whole year has been a bit of a story. So I'm kind of thinking like, how do I want to do that? And here, we'll just, there we go, stamp. So our inside looks the same. I love spreads where it's like hidden things. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know I love to add in these tip-ins or whatever that have hidden, they look like they're part of the page, and then you flip it out and you go, oh wow, look, there was something hidden there. So I have this stencil, and it's just kind of like has a bunch of words about creating, like a little story. And so I'm going to take a gray stamp pad this time and just use a makeup sponge, and I'm going to press that through across the entire page, and then I'm going to use my little tip-ins. I'm going to flip them inside out, not moving the stencil, so that everything kind of still meshes together. So that's what I'm doing here. So while I'm doing this, I'm sort of thinking like, how do I want to have a focal? Do I want to have a focal? So as you can see, look at, you flip any of the pages, and the words match up. Oh, I just have to tell you how excited that makes me. I don't know. Yeah, I'm crazy like that. So it's sort of, I just kind of want to leave it like this, kind of like the story's written, but we don't know how it ends. I don't know. I'm all nostalgic when it comes to December and it's the end of the year and you look back and you go, wow, what did I do? Or maybe what I didn't get done. But anyways, I'm finishing it here. I'm leaving it like this. I dried it and now I have these pieces and I feel like this background is me. It's my story. And however I flip those pages, no matter the story it tells, it all matches up to still be me. I'm really loving journal pages that make you think, that are basic but so full of emotional depth. And maybe you don't see that and that's okay, but it's my journal and this is how I would love to end my year with the Menagerie. Don't forget to check all of the ladies' links down in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and all through the year. Mad love's going out to you all. I hope you have an amazing ending to your 2022 and that your 2023 is one of your best years yet. Thank you so much again. Sending lots of love out to you. This is me giving you a big cyber hug. And until the next time that we hang out together, happy creating.